what's happening in the Cincinnati real estate market now? Let's talk about that and August 2022 numbers right after this. Hi, I'm Rhonda with Comey and Shepherd Realtors, and today we are going to talk about what's happening in the market, but also we're going to pull the numbers from the 4 biggest counties that make up the Cincinnati market. And so Butler, Warren, Hamilton, and Claremont, we're going to include in all of our stats. So let's get going. Last month, we sold 2,078 units. That was up actually 4% from July, which is a little unusual, but it was down 15% from August of 21. All right, our lowest priced property was in Clifton, and it was just a shell. Like, there was really nothing to it. There was a pile of bricks, there was a lot of dirt and a few studs, but not much else. That house was listed around $32,000 and ultimately sold for $17,500. Our highest priced4 was new construction in Indian Hill. It was on a little over an acre, 5 bedrooms, 4 full and 2 half baths with a 4-car garage. That was built by Christopher Robin. It sold for $2.533 million. Our average sale, it did go down, but only 1% to $322,319. And it was actually up 7% from last August. So still on the rise. Our days on market did increase to 12. They had been at 8 for whatever reason. We had been 10, dropped to 8 in July, and then back up to 12 in August. The median even increased. So it is now 4 units available. We have 1,760 units available. And that is actually down a little bit from last month as well as last year, the same time. And we currently have a little less inventory available. So we're in that like 3.5 weeks of inventory. We're still not at a full month yet. So, even though there are times when it feels like, yep, things are sitting and the buyers have the advantage, there's just still not a lot out there. But okay, well, today I am bringing in Marion from my team, and she's been very active with buyers and sellers over the last month. And so I just wanted to allow you guys to hear another opinion, not just mine, about what's happening in the market. So Marion, what types of things have you seen that have changed over the last few months?
So over the last few months, I would say far more price reductions. I think people are more aware of the changing market. I think it's very interesting how our consumers will hear one blip on the news or read one headline, or maybe it's more than that, and think that the entire housing market is going haywire crazy, the opposite total direction, headed for imminent demise. And that's really not the case. So I think agents are more willing now to engage with their seller clients and take their advice of, hey, we're priced too high. We need to lower the price. So lots more price reductions. I've seen blips of more. Seems like it's on about a 3-week rotation of increasing numbers of homes back on the market. I think there's a ton of reasons for that.
I know yesterday we had 52 price reductions. So things that didn't sell over the weekend got reduced on Monday. I did not see the back on market numbers, but I'm guessing it was also high.
Yeah.
And we do have, the last numbers I saw were during the week of Labor Day, but we were down to about 8,900 showings for the week versus about 9,900. What about new construction? Have you seen anything change? I know you had one that just closed, but changes from when you started that process to like what's happening in that kind of arena now?
Sure. So, I mean, obviously it's going to be different depending on which builder and depending on whether or not you're doing high-end custom versus more of your everyday.
Production.
So I have not been working with custom builders. I've been more working with the budget builders, and they have been running specials and emailing, really trying to drum up business. There's a couple of neighborhoods. It's the same neighborhood, but it's the 2-story side versus the ranch side, up in Middletown, the Sawyer's Mill.
Mm-hmm.
And they have been trying to sell the last few lots since May, and they must still have them available because I still get.
Wow.
Then there are some builders that are running specials, I think that the new construction orders have cooled quite a bit, which has affected everything else. And I was actually just updating my neighborhood today, Shaker Run. I'm looking at the trends there, and not new construction, but existing homes. So stuff that was built 21 or earlier.
Okay.
The days on market for those and the price reductions are increasing. So I think that our neighborhood here, Shaker Run here in Lebanon, has cooled some / it's possible that the listing agents haven't kept up with what's going on and their pricing strategy has not been realistic.
Yeah, agents or sellers, one of the two, may not be understanding where things are sitting right now.
Right.
I just went on a new construction appointment the other day. They had market homes, and this happened to be MI homes. They had quite a few market homes in this community, and the lady just looked at me and she's like, "You should buy this. Like, this is a great deal. We can't build this house for what we're willing to sell it for. And we have a special locked in rate." So they were at like 4.5%.
Oh.
As long as it closed by the end of the year. So they can only do that with market homes.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a great opportunity for my buyer who, if she's up another percentage point, may not be anywhere in the ballpark to be able to make those payments. So I found it really interesting that they're suddenly working with everyone a little bit more. Now, custom to be built and custom built, again, may not be the same, but the production builders, I think, are seeing some inventory sitting and they're trying to get rid of it as quickly as possible.
I'm glad that you mentioned that about the rate with MI. So I'm remembering now that a lot of the promotions I was seeing, and it was with a few different builders, they were really promoting the adjustable rate mortgage, or the ARM, and talking about how they could get you for the first year in the 3s, second year in the 4s, third year in the 5s, which is still a little bit below market availability now. And then basically the reasoning being, if rates didn't go down and you couldn't refinance it to a fixed rate before year 3, well, you were still probably going to be paying a little bit less than you would have. And then year 4, the adjustable rate mortgage adjusts to market rates, which, again, depending on, the markets, who can look into their crystal ball and see, that could still be a win for the buyer. Just depends.
Right. And so talking about rates, I have been trying to watch the financial news. Like, I'll be honest, most of it just makes my eyes just glaze over immediately. But the thing that I'm hearing is, yes, the Fed is planning to still raise rates again before the end of the year. And if that happens, obviously it does pull prices down a little bit more because those buyers lose buying power every time the rate goes up. And I know I've got a listing right now that's kind of in that close to 250 range. Mm-hmm. And most people are like, it's too high. We can't afford it. We even got offers and they're like, here's our offer. But then after we talk to the lender, he's like, no, our offer has to be down here.
Oh.
And you're like, no. But yes, that's real life. I mean, that's how people are being affected by the rates.
Yeah. So I think that my advice to buyers would be, whether looking at existing homes or new construction, don't get sucked into, this is a holiday, I'm not going to look at houses today, because so many other people are doing that. You are sleeping on your chance. Labor Day weekend, we could have done so well. Not that there were necessarily so many new listings, but just stuff that's just been hanging around for longer days on the market. That's a trend. Stuff is sitting on the market a little bit longer, depending on, what little pocket you're talking about. I think values here in Lebanon as a whole have stayed pretty steady. Inventory is a little bit lower, but historically, I know you and I have talked about how Lebanon tends to have an abundance of for sale by owners, which I find very interesting. And our clients need to know that we can help you buy a for sale by owner. We know how to do this, and it's a lot better idea to let us help you do that than to really not use any realtor at all and just wing it, because you're going to get yourself into the potential for a lot of headache, heartache, financial and legal trouble. It's not good.
And that being said, Jason had 2 listings this year that were for sale by owners that fell through, and he ended up listing it and helping to get it closed. Because sometimes buyers are flaky, and if you don't know what you're looking for or how to, which offer to accept, all of that, it can be a little bit challenging. But yeah, there's so many cool opportunities out there. Even if it's not on the market, there's still options. New construction, as we said, I think market homes are a great opportunity. If it was something you were going to build, as long as you don't hate the lot, it's in an area you want to be in, you could get that lower interest rate. You might get some extra options that you wouldn't have been able to get, if you were just picking and choosing, because there are some things in market homes that it's like they've put it in already, and then they just overall lower the price. So, you may not be stuck with the bottom of the barrel stuff. They may have added some things to make it nice. But yeah, days on market, increased days on market do bring opportunities for buyers to hopefully make an offer that they prefer, like, I don't know, inspections.
Right. Yes. So I was just thinking, I think it's probably been May or June since I have had a client initially offer list price or higher on a home, and yet still had how many closings this summer?
What about the one in Landon?
So interesting. Technically, we did offer at list price. However, after inspections, where we already said we would not ask for any repairs. We still didn't ask for any repairs, but they knocked some money off the price, and not a small amount.
Okay.
And all it took was, again, always rely on your own inspections.
Yep.
My folks use their inspector, who's also a personal family friend of theirs for years. He found plenty of defects, and I never had to send over anything. It was just a conversation with me and the other agent. She said, well, what all was wrong? I said, are you sure you want to know? Because
Right.
once you do, you can't unknow it.
There was that conversation.
She said, yeah, I'm going to have to tell him. And I only got to like maybe the third thing on the list, and it was a laundry list. And she was like, okay, that's good enough.
So you just did an addendum and got the price reduction?
Yes. And
That's awesome.
that. I did that for them twice this year on two different, the first one was a condominium. The second one was a freestanding home, kind of like a landominium.
Yeah.
No, it's a freestanding home. No, it's a
It's a detached unit in a condo community, right?
Not really. Because they were a little bit surprised, and we were a little bit shaky for about a day or two on this deal because, the roof wasn't covered by the HOA, the siding wasn't, the deck wasn't, nothing exterior. So it really is a single family home.
Yeah. Okay.
And they didn't know that going in.
And that is why we get HOA docs, and that is why we review all of those things
Absolutely.
prior to getting very far in the contract. All right. Well, we need to wrap this up, but Marion, final thoughts.
Don't be scared. Don't be complacent. A lot of people have burned out on this process, even people who got started in the process later than you did, buyers. Don't be scared. Sellers, same. It's still a great time to sell your home because whether or not rates do or don't fill in the blank, there are life changes. People get transfers. People have to move. They don't have a choice sometimes. And why wait? Now's your time. Let's do it.
And still very low inventory. So that's where I do think that sellers have some really great opportunities. Now, you're going to hear me talking about it in the next few months, but as we lead up to the holidays, we see a lot of buyers come out and go, oh my gosh, I need a bigger house because we want to fit the whole family in for the holidays. We'd love to be in our new property by then. And they're going to be looking. So if you as a seller think you've missed out, you still have a chance. So let us know. Always like, share, and subscribe, and comment down below with your experiences and or questions. And we'll see you next month.